Kalala Yahweh, Bo Shema Mashak Yabasha, Shema Yashavela Yahweh, Alahayanawa Kadaba Mashbaka, Shalom. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. In this short rebuke, the rebuke goes out to Charleston White. And in this sharp rebuke, we're going to listen to what he had to say. I'm going to add my commentary. And then we're going to do away with the foolishness by getting to the scriptures. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Let it play.
Of a bunch of weak black men in America, homie, who read a bunch of books, but the books and the knowledge that they read, it don't manifest in none of their lives.
Okay, so here we have Charleston White running his mouth, scoffing at the truth. Yes, Mr. Charleston White is running his mouth and scoffing at the truth. This isn't his first time doing so. He has said plenty of things about the Israelites and this great awakening. But with him coming forth with his scoffing, this shows further evidence that there is an agenda behind such figures coming out and scoffing, as Charleston White is doing. Now, you can see everyday average people with their scoffing videos, and you can see a few prominent individuals, prominent as far as fame goes. You can see them scoffing as well. But in this particular video, we're going to focus here on Charleston White. Now, as he said, you know, he's speaking on the Israelites. He's saying that nothing that they profess manifests in their life. Keep in mind, he's saying that as a carnal man. He's saying that as a man that has not been awakened to the truth. He's been exposed to it, but he hasn't been awakened to notice the supernatural prowess that is involved with this truth. Let it continue.
They talk that Hebrew, we this, we that. Show us, nigga. Stop making movies. Stop sounding poetic and intelligent. Come show us.
So here we have Mr. Charleston White scoffing, you know, making a covenant with the heathen, taking the side of the heathen, and saying some of the same things that the heathen would say to try to refute against this truth, to object against this truth. Now, if he was one who was awakened to the truth, or one that the Most High is actually dealing with, he will know that such things have already been shown. Such things have already been proven to know who the Israelites are today. Let it continue.
Who we are. Tired of motherfuckers telling us who we are. Because based on our actions, we ain't none of that shit they talking, my nigga.
It's already been proven. It's already been proven through the scriptures what he's saying and what he's requesting for the Hebrew Israelites to do. It's already been proven through the scriptures. And we'll see by the end of this video that everything that he's talking, his whole attitude, right? His whole attitude and his gainsaying has already been spoken of in the scriptures thousands of years ago. It was already prophesied that such individuals like Charleston White will be saying the things that he's been saying. So while he's scoffing, it's already been written on his attitude and what he has to say in objection to the truth. It's already been written. Mr. Charleston White, your whole attitude and all your objection and your scoffing has already been written of. It was pre-recorded way before you was even thought of. It was pre-recorded thousands of years ago of how you're acting and responding to the truth to this day.
We ain't none of that shit they talking. And I don't want to be a part of nothing that cursed me 2,000 years ago, as good as my mother was, homie.
And again, we'll see in the scriptures how his unbelief has already been spoken of. Now, on a side note, right, on a side note, I'll let y'all know this. Charleston White, what we see of this man, right? What we see of this man is totally authentic. Yeah. For those of y'all who don't know, for those of you who are outside looking in, Charleston White is the full embodiment of a true fourth worth ass nigga. I repeat, Charleston White is the full embodiment of a true Fort Worth ass nigga. His whole demeanor and everything he represents as a person is 100% authentic. He is indeed showing you all who he really is. And if you have any knowledge of Fort Worth, Texas, and niggas from Fort Worth, Texas, you know he acts just like one. A true Fort Worth, Texas ass nigga. Straight up. If you have any knowledge, if you hung around any of them, if you've been in that city, right? If you know anybody from there, anybody from any of the hoods of Fort Worth, you know he is not faking. This is truly him. Now, with that being said, his disbelief, his unbelief, and his scoffing has been written of. And everything he's saying, yeah, you fit the description of what was already written by our forefathers. Charleston White.
As good as our ancestors was as slaves. Nigga, them people never became hateful. So you mean to tell me whatever?
So here he goes with hateful. He trying to pin the movement as hateful, right? As hate speech. Well, there is one thing that we hate, and that's wickedness. And that's the true fear of the Most High. That's the love of the Most High, is to hate evil. And everything that's spoken against within the doctrine of the truth is against wickedness and evil. So yes, there is a hatred for that. There's a hatred for wickedness, and there's a hatred for wicked individuals. So you're right. Yeah, there is hatred. We'll see it in the scriptures. Just hold tight. There is a hatred, and that's for wickedness and those of wickedness.
All these motherfucking Hebrews serve, that God is still punishing black children from something 2,000 years ago? Why are black Hebrews the only one with this knowledge and saying it's the 12 tribes of Judah? You know,
because the Most High awoke the tents of Judah first. That's why. Mr. Charleston White, if you knew anything about the scriptures, you would know that. That's why your so-called American blacks are at the forefront of the awakening. Because he awoke the tents of Judah first. And we'll get it in the scriptures. Don't worry, just hang tight.
you don't hear Mexicans saying that shit. You don't hear Puerto Ricans. You don't hear Dominicans. Why these dumbass?
You don't hear the 2/3 among them saying that. But yes, there are those of Mexican, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans that are saying the same thing, but they have been awakened. Mr. Charleston White, why you're scoffing? You're speaking of the majority, which are 2/3, which your ass happen to be, nigga.
American black people are the only ones saying this, my nigga. But they can't show us. Show us who we are, nigga.
The scripture showed you. And by the way of the teachings of the prophets, you have already been shown. And the fact that you're even speaking on this, the evidence has been provided to you. It has been shown to you as well, all throughout the scriptures, in comparison to the conditions of today and the evidence throughout history, Mr. Charleston White. So it's already been shown to your ass. But you've made a covenant with the heathen, and within your covenant, you're gainsaying, you're objecting, you're pushing a doctrine of unbelief because you got some fame, you got some fortune, right? Right? You got some hoes after you. You probably got a hoe or two on the side of your wife. Yeah, so you're satisfied with all the carnal shit that your oppressor has allowed you to have. So therefore, you make a pact with the heathen to speak against the doctrine. We got you figured out, man. The Most High has already armed us with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to dissect niggas like you.
Because we don't believe it by you telling us. When we go online and see what we see, when you niggas won't stand up to the industry, you niggas won't stand up to the Jewish-ran industry.
Are you standing up against the industry? No. No, you're not. You're with the industry. That's why you do your shenanigans, Mr. Charleston White. And every time we open up this book and we prophesy by the scriptures, we are taking a stance against the industry and everything of wickedness, because we know the industry is wicked. And the Most High is doing the fighting for us. While you're speaking of Amalek, right? AKA the small hats, AKA the synagogue. Yeah. So while you're talking all that noise, every time we open our mouth and we prophesy by the way of the scriptures, we're taking such a stand. And the Most High is carrying out the actions. Yeah, just cut on the news. You'll see those actions. Look at the geopolitical climate. You'll see those actions. That's all by the way of the Most High. And if your ass keep on, you're going to be a casualty of such actions that the Most High is carrying out. Nigga.
That's promoting, propagating, glorifying, pushing, detriment and destruction by way of lyrical content. And if you believe that Bible, you know rapping, nigga, is the greatest force of a demonic force known to man.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So, the Psalms, right? The Psalms of King David. He was rapping. The Psalms of King David. He's rapping. Those are lyrics. Those are prophetic lyrics, Mr. Charleston White. What about the song of the three holy children? Yeah, in the Apocrypha, that's a rap. It's been in our DNA to be musical people. And with you using rap as some ammunition to your argument, Mr. Charleston White, we know that today's rap has been hijacked by the way of the heathen. It has become foul, corrupted, and a poison to those of the diaspora. That's why they talk about nothing but trash and debauchery and degeneracy in the mainstream art called rap. Everything that's conscious and positive is pushed into the shadows. And what's into the limelight is the degenerative debauchery that we know of as today's rap.
If you believe that Bible, Hebrew, I don't believe nothing you can read, homie, about God.
You don't believe because the Most High hasn't given it to you to believe. You haven't been selected by the Most High to have your understanding be opened up to receive such information that's read through the scriptures, Mr. Charleston White. So no, you're not making any stance, and nobody like you is making any stance when they oppose the scriptures. You're not making any valid stance. You think you have control, but no, you don't have control. The Most High doesn't want you to believe it. That's why you don't believe. We'll get it in the scriptures.
I don't believe nothing you can read about God.
Yeah, because you go by your wicked ass heart. You go by your own profane understanding and what you think should be God. And that's not how you go about it, Mr. Charleston White. So why are you trying to start an argument based off your own wicked ass understanding? The Most High has you exactly where he wants you. You and every other motherfucker like you.
How you gonna tell me by God something you, me, or now motherfucker talking have ever seen or spoke to? How you gonna tell me about?
Some of us have been encountered by the Most High, Mr. Charleston White. Some of us have had our encounters with the Most High, Mr. Charleston White. We've had those encounters supernaturally, Mr. Charleston White. That's how we have such knowledge of the scriptures, Mr. Charleston White.
God, based on your personal comprehension. Everything that a preacher preaches, everything that a religious leader speaks out of his mouth is based on their own personal reading comprehension.
And that's because they're false prophets. And the fact that you want somebody to show you by their own understanding, yeah, that symptom has already been written thousands of years ago, Mr. Charleston White. So the book that you say you don't believe because you can read is calling out all your moves right now. And we're going to see everything that you're saying, your whole attitude and all your actions opposing the truth has already been written of. So the checkmate has already been made on you, Mr. Charleston White. You're not saying nothing new. You're not saying anything new. You're not taking any new type of stance with your own dumbass understanding, nigga.
I don't believe that a man is telling me about a God. Show me a Jesus. Show me a Prophet Muhammad. Show me a Gandhi. Show me a motherfucker.
You so damn bugged out that you talking about show you a Jesus, show you a Gandhi, show you a Prophet Muhammad. Well, that's your problem. That's your problem. Your mind's all in these other different doctrines for proof. Gandhi ain't part of the truth. Muhammad ain't part of the truth. And we'll get that in the scriptures. We'll get that in the scriptures. So, yeah, your argument is futile. Your argument is futile. It's destroyed before you even open up your mouth.
But it can't read, but that can write a Quran. Show me. Show me a motherfucker that can raise the dead. Don't tell me about a motherfucker. Show me. My mama showed me.
Your mama don't know shit, nigga. Your mama wasn't a prophet. You're only speaking from your own wicked emotions. You're getting emotional now and talking about your mama showed you. Your mama wasn't a prophet. Your mama established her own righteousness in contribution to your knowledge of a supreme being or your knowledge of God. She established her own righteousness.
My mama showed me a God to hold on to. So, nigga, if you can't show me what my mama showed me, nigga, if you can't love me unconditionally like my mother does according to how they say God love us, you can't tell me about no.
And you're ignorant, sir. That's why you need to read. You're ignorant. You don't know nothing about the business of the Most High. That's why you're speaking like that. That's why you're speaking like that. Your mom's not a prophet. Your mom's not a prophet. And whatever she showed you pertaining to the Most High's business was by her own righteousness, not by the true righteousness of the Most High.
And God, mother. You can't love me unconditionally like you say God do, but my mother does. So whatever God that woman tell me about, that's the God I want. Because she done showed me. The Hebrew niggas can't show us, my nigga. Show us this power, nigga.
It's already been shown. It's already been shown. It's already been shown. The real question is the Most High dealing with you for such miracles to be shown to you? Is he dealing with you like that? Because if he's not dealing with you like that, then it's not going to be shown to you.
Numbers in the community, not at that white boy stadium. Come to the community, nigga, when a nigga kill a nigga, and show us 200 niggas. Stand around the family that's burying somebody, nigga, and show me 200 niggas and cry with them people, nigga. An NBA player. A scare-ass NBA player that got to do like every other nigga.
Yeah, you're getting all emotional, hollering, hooping and hollering. Hey, just because you raise your voice, that don't make you any right. That doesn't make you any more right just because you want to yell and have a fit and throw a tantrum and get all emotional. Shut your ass up, nigga.
Including them niggas who take off on their job, nigga, and submit to their coward nature when they clock in at work. Because they ain't talking Hebrew on the job. They ain't talking Hebrew on the job. They ain't asking for Hebrew.
You're not making any point with that, man. You're not making any point like that. So why would we be speaking Hebrew in Babylon? Huh? When this whole society is Babylonian, why would we be speaking Hebrew at the job? And if you know anything, right, according to the scriptures, according to the Most High's business, you'll know we're still in captivity. And that includes your ass, nigga. You still in captivity. You still in captivity. It don't matter you got a little fame, you got a few million. You're still in captivity. Your oppressor gives you the illusion that you have some type of freedom, but you're still in captivity too. You're still bound by the curses. The fact that you're not satisfied by what has already been proven through the scriptures in comparison to reality and history shows that you're still in bondage by your sin. You're still in bondage to your sin, and you're still in bondage of your rebellion and stiff-neckedness and hard-heartedness. So yeah, you're still in captivity too, nigga. So what you talking about?
Religious rights on the job. Develop a Hebrew church, nigga, that's bigger than the Jew church. Other than that, man, these niggas just...
See, everything he used as an objection was just fueled by ammunition of the heathen, in comparison of the heathen. Just like the heathen would do.
Talking, homie, and I don't want my God coming from no book, and I don't want my God coming from no man telling me about
All right, let's go ahead and cut this man up here. starting in the book of Romans chapter 3, starting from the top. What advantage then hath the Jew, or the prophet, or what profit is there of circumcision? Verse 2, much every way chiefly, because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yahweh. So yeah, these same Israelites that you're scoffing against, Mr. Charleston White, yeah, we are the oracles of Yahweh. Verse 3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Your unbelief does not make anything lesser or greater in your favor, that is. It has none effect. It has none effect, whether you believe or not, Mr. Charleston White. Verse 4, Yahweh forbid. Yeah, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and might overcome when thou art judged. So yeah, we justified by these way of the scriptures, Mr. Charleston White. We're justified and we overcome your foolishness with all your scoffing. With your scoffing and everybody that scoffs just like you, nigga. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So since you spoke about us reading all these books and feeding out the information from the knowledge that we obtain, yeah, that's the fear of the Lord. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of all knowledge. And you evidently don't have the appropriate fear of Yahweh. Therefore, you speak foolishly on this matter because you don't have the appropriate knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that pertain to it. Charleston White. Let's go to Psalm chapter 119. This is Psalm chapter 119, starting at verse 98. Thou through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. So, Mr. Charleston White, you're an enemy. You're an enemy because you speak boastfully and foolishly against this business of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 99, I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. We meditate on the testimonies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Therefore, we have more understanding than any of these carnal worldly teachers. We have more understanding than your ass, especially, Mr. Charleston White. Verse 100, I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. So since we keep these precepts of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we have more understanding than those of ancient times that's knowledge has been recorded until this day. We have more understanding than those ancient philosophers, right? And those ancient wise men of the other nations. We have more understanding than all of them. So what are you talking about, Mr. Charleston White? You're not talking about anything. Let's kick into the book of Zechariah. So you talking about why all these so-called Black American niggas are only ones that are pushing such truth or such doctrine? It's because it's already been prophesied for it to be that way. The tents of Judah should be at the forefront. You know why? Because Zechariah chapter 12 verse 7 says, Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Yerushalayim do not magnify themselves against Judah. So that's why the majority of those who are at the forefront pushing this truth are those who you call, quote unquote, Black Americans. That's the tribe of Yahweh. Verse 8, in that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Yasharal, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as Yahweh, as the angel of Yahweh before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. So this is the day of Yahweh. This is the day when the kingdom comes to earth. This is the prophecy against all those who are enemies of Israel. Verse 10, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. So that's the return of Yahweh Shah on the day of Yahweh. That is Yahweh Shah. That is a prophecy of Yahweh Shah coming on the day of the Lord, right? On that return. So yeah, it's going to be a glorious thing that we look forward to. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Baruch. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. So yeah, that's why all this is happening, Mr. Charleston White. And that's why you're not believing, because you're a stiff-necked individual of Yasharallah. And in the land of our captivities, we're remembering ourselves. That's why you have this great awakening with the truth. Verse 31. And shall know that I am Yahweh the Elohim, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. He hasn't given you that heart or ears to hear, Mr. Charleston White. You're a 50-something-year-old nigga stuck in his ways. Verse 32, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. So that's what we're doing. We're praising Yahweh and thinking upon his name. That's not what you're doing, Mr. Charleston White. You're not doing that because it wasn't given to you to do it. Verse 33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before Yahweh. So that's why you have all this stuff happening to the nation of Yasharallah as a whole, because of stiff-neckedness and hard-heartedness. That's the conditions as it is today. Wicked individuals of Yasharallah, like yourself, Mr. Charleston White. And he talking about show you, it's already been prophesied. It's already been prophesied. We're going to go to that in the book of Deuteronomy. This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh the Elohim to keep his commandments and his statutes which he hath commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. So yeah, that's the sign and wonder. That's how you know who's who, by those curses. And yes, Mr. Charleston White, your ass is under the curses too. That's why you're not satisfied with the truth that's been given to you already. You have a sorrowful mind pertaining to the truth. You're an unbeliever. You're an unbeliever. Verse 47, because thou servest not Yahweh the Elohim with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. We know you're not doing that, Charleston White. We know that you're not serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah with joyfulness and thanksgiving. You're not serving him with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. You're not serving him. Verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So that yoke of iron has already been placed on our neck through chattel slavery, right? But now we're still serving the enemies through hunger, thirst, and nakedness, because where do you get all those goods from? You get them from the heathen. And that includes you, Mr. Charleston White. You're getting that from the heathen as well. Let's go back to the book of Baruch. This is Baruch chapter 1, verse 17. For we have sinned before Yahweh and disobeyed him and have not hearkened unto the voice of Yahweh Elohim to walk in his commandments that he gave us openly. So you're not doing that to this day, and many others aren't doing that to this day. Since the day that Yahweh brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt until the present day, we have been disobedient unto Yahweh Elohim, and we have been negligent and not hearing his voice. Verse 20, wherefore the evils cleave unto us, and the curse, which Yahweh appointed by Mashah, his servant, at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day. Verse 21, nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of Yahweh Elohim, according to all the words of the prophets, whom he has sent unto us. But every man followed the imagination of his wicked heart, to serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of Yahweh Elohim. So that's why you on there talking all your trash, Charleston White, because you're after the wickedness of your own heart. You're serving the strange gods that your mama showed you, that you speak of, because your mama wasn't serving Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua neither the correct way. Because if she was, you wouldn't be on here scoffing like you're scoffing. Let's go to the book of Daniel now. Daniel Allah. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 7. O Yahweh, righteousness belong to us, but unto Salakia. O Yahweh, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces. So that's why you were talking about no Mexican, Dominican, or Puerto Rican are speaking the same thing, because those are 2/3 that are not speaking this truth, Mr. Charleston White. They have confusion of faces. They think that they're actually Mexican, Puerto Rican, and Dominican. That's not what the Lord called them. And their ancestors were speaking a totally different language before the conquistadors came and did what they did and have their speaking Spanish to this day. They have confusion of faces. So that's why you speak of the majority that don't know this truth and the majority that are 2/3 just like your wicked ass, nigga. O Yahweh, righteousness belongeth unto us. Salakia. O Yahweh, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces. As at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to all Israel that are near and that are far off through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. So yeah, that's why you have these different nationalities that have been coined by the heathen. Verse 8. O Yahweh, to us belong a confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To Yahweh Elohim belongeth mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. So you talking about all these conditions that prove that we're not the people of the book. Well, that's already been prophesied, nigga. And we're gonna go to it. This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Sata's children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. So yeah, that fits that. That fits why you're talking about, oh, show us, because the conditions that we're in. Yeah, those conditions are what's been spoken of here in Jeremiah 4:22. And you, Mr. Charleston White, you're of those people that are foolish. You are of those people that do not know the Most High, and you are of those people that are Sata's children. He's speaking of Yasharali. He's speaking of Israel, the 2/3 just like your ass. You have none understanding. You're Satish. Satish is another word for stupid. So your whole rant was stupid. It was a showcaseness of your stupidity, nigga. And you've definitely made a covenant with the heathen, because you speak as of the heathen while you're getting paid all your fame and fortune. And in doing this rant, you're feeding the mind of other rebellious ass Israelites to do the same thing and to adopt the same type of philosophy and doctrine. We'll get it here in 1 Maccabees 1:11. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant unto the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. That's why you're talking about, oh, I don't want to serve their God. I don't want to serve God for this, that, and this, that. No, I want to serve the God my mama showed me. Yeah, that's why you like that, because you're taking the side of the heathen with that wickedness there, man. Hey, this concludes part 1 of this sharp rebuke. I mean, I got so many precepts here that I had to condense it down. So stay tuned for part 2. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.